This video was actually meant to be a challenge where I had to code a mobile game in 48 hours, so I thought I would transcend the human mind and get it done quickly. Bada boom, bada boom. Simple, right? But it turns out that my brain always got distracted and I ended up doing something else. It is surely not me procrastinating, right? So this 48-hour challenge ended up stretching to a whole week. Anyways, for coding a mobile app I could have either went for the easier way, where I could have coded it in Python, or the hard way, where I had to learn a whole new language and work with that. So clearly as an insane individual, I should have went for the easy way, right? Well, no, it turns out I chose the harder way. You idiot! So I chose this framework called Flutter to make my game, which was coded in the language called Dart. And also I had to use this library which was called Flame to give me more functionality, which it did not. Since I was quite new to Flutter, I thought I would start with something simple and of course, which is not something some other million people have made. A game like Flappy Bird. I know it's boring, but stick with me. So now we have the language and the game idea. The rest will be easy, right? Well, no. I created the project and began making the game. Then I found out that there aren't much sources to learn Flutter from. Well, there's the documentation and who reads that? Oh, me. Well, somehow I managed to get this jumping circle with a scarce flame documentation. Or maybe it's just me, I couldn't just process the information that they were giving there with my tiny brain. On day 2 and 3, I created all the enemy sprites and added them to the game. A blade, a spinning saw, and a kunai. Very creative indeed. The way that the enemies worked was that every time they reached the end of the screen, they would be reset to the starting position. Also, the difficulty of the game would increase by adding other enemies to the game when the player reaches a certain distance. I used up the day for playtesting and fixing some minor bugs. I also created this animation where when the player hits any of the blades, it gets split into 2 pieces. And there is this annoying bug in Flame, or maybe I just don't know how to do it, where I can't delete the sprites and then draw them again. And whenever I had to delete a sprite I couldn't, so I would have to set a position somewhere outside the screen and then redraw it again. I know that a lot of you might be thinking,
Oh, you had so much time but you got little done.
Well, again, Philippine, I was very busy slacking off. An infuriating part of coding mobile games is that it has to support all device dimensions, and who knows what other kinds of devices are out there. I partly fixed this issue by just getting the width and height of the screen, and use the ratio of that for all the image assets and coordinates within the game. Though if the device does not have proper dimensions, it could cause the image to stretch. On the last day, I did some more polishing, redesigned some of the assets, tested the game on other devices and created some sound effects. And also I added the score and high score system. You know the time when you are writing code and you make a small mistake and you end up dying to find it? So when I was working on compiling my code, I spent almost 4 hours trying to catch this bug, which just ended up me having to flip a forward slash into a backslash. And after all that, the game was complete. Yeah, but that was quite the journey. And here it is, pretty good if I say so myself. By the way, the assets in the game might not look too great. Don't blame me, I was just born with bad pixel art skills. The game is published on itch.io and you could check it out there if you want. Also, while you're there, you could try to beat my high score. I couldn't publish it on Play Store because I had to pay $25 just to put one game on there. And besides, I'm broke. Well, there you go, and thanks for watching. I hope that there was someone going around and stealing those red buttons you see down there. But I'd press that if I were you.